Next on Deck with Tim Black.
And this was my idea. I was never on defund the police, but I was on reforming the police and restructuring it, as in, we need better police officers. We should pay cops a premium to be police officers. Okay, so I ran across this yesterday. I saw it in my feed. It is a very sad story. It's a despicable story. It's something that really teed me off when I saw it, because this should never happen. Folks, there was a brother by the name of Brandon Durham who called the cops because there was some intruders in his home that had forced their way in with guns. He called the police and said, "Me and my daughter will be in the bathroom. Hold up until you get here." And then the cops came there, and they handled the wrong person. They shot Brandon Dunham. Here goes a clip, not of Brandon Dunham, but of the reporting of this. It won't be graphic, but you know, it's sad.
Body camera video of a deadly police shooting, a man who called for help, then killed by police in his own home. He called 911 to report 2 people fired their way into his home. The video capturing officers arriving at Brandon Durham's house, kicking down the front door, hearing screams, finding Durham wrestling over a knife with someone. One officer then firing 6 rounds, killing the homeowner. The other person was uninjured. That officer is on administrative leave tonight.
This story is tragic in so many ways. He had a young daughter that was living with him, and she was very upset, of course, obviously. She was remarking about how the cops were ordering her dad to stay down after they had already taken his life. Folks, I'm not a trainer of police officers. So I understand there's a lot here I don't understand. I'm out of my depth when it comes to police training. I've interviewed a lot of folks, even former police officers and sheriffs on this channel. I've done a series of videos on police brutality and changes that need to be made in the police force. But I'm going to go ahead and shoot this one from the hip, and I'm going to put out an opinion here. If you get a call that someone says they have 2 intruders in their house, at that point, it's okay to at least clothingly assume some things. The homeowner who called the police and said, "I'm in my house, I got 2 home invaders, they forced their ways in with guns," he was in his underwear. No shirt, no shoes, no socks. I think it was safe to assume that he was a person that called the cops. You know, I'm not a rocket scientist, haven't been to Yale or Harvard, but I gotta imagine the dumbass cop that decided, ooh, I gotta shoot the almost naked guy, has lack of training, lack of understanding, and trigger happy. If you come to a crime scene and you see 2 people fighting over a knife, and you just got a call that somebody's house is broken in, I think it's safe to assume if you got to shoot anybody, you shoot the person in the hoodie that's fully clothed wearing work boots, not the person in just their underwear. Or maybe you shoot no one and you say, "Who's the homeowner?" And then when you do shoot someone, maybe you don't stand over them and give them 5 more shots. Because that's what this officer did. Now, both the homeowner and the alleged assailant, were both African. They're both black, okay? So they're both black, so it's not a racial issue. But I'm saying, guys, you can go ahead and racially profile. You can go ahead and criminally profile. You can go ahead and do that. You got 2 black people, one person's almost butt naked in their own home. You shot the person who was butt naked in their own home. I haven't seen something this tragic and stupid since Tatiana Jefferson. Tatiana Jefferson, for people maybe remember, I covered that story. Young woman at home watching her nephew playing video games. Someone said, oops, her door is open. Cops say, we got to go check it out. They don't ring the doorbell. They walk around the house, peeking through windows, scare her. She grabs her gun, license to carry, in her own home. They see her with a gun in her own home. What do? They shoot through the window and kill her. That is bad police work. That is unnecessary death. That is the fault of a policeman, untrained jackass. Worse than that, there are other words for that. But this story is right up there, Johnson. The tragedy of this man losing his life in his own home. After calling cops, I don't know what those people came there to do. I don't understand what happened. I guess more has to come out. Oh yeah, another thing, guys. Can we please, for the love of God, fam, please stop trying to guess why those two people were at his house. We don't know why they were at his house. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter why they were at his house. If they broke in with guns and forced their way into his house, it's called a home invasion. You don't need to speculate and say, well, I know something else is going on. Something else. Yeah, something else is going on. Somebody was breaking in his damn house. That's what was going on. My condolences to the young lady who lost her father, who, in her words, now will have to live the rest of her life without her dad in her life. All because the Las Vegas Metro Police Department decided to show up. Maybe it'd have been better if they didn't show up at all. Maybe then he'd only been stabbed. See, this is why I stopped covering this stuff. But I think now I'm gonna have to go back because I got to be able to compartmentalize. Can't do it exclusively, but when I see egregious stories like this, man, I will give a baseline of coverage of it because I do have some knowledge in this area. Once upon a time, I thought that we could just reform policing, and this was my idea. I was never on defund the police, but I was on reforming the police and restructuring it, as in, we need better police officers. We should pay cops a premium to be police officers. Do you realize the average police officer gets less training than your average barber? Your average hairstylist goes through a much more rigorous learning process than your average cop. Yeah. And I don't know if you're noticing that, but barbers don't carry guns, at least not typically. Okay, so yeah, I just thought I'd throw that out there. So we're in an age right now where people think, I guess because Trump's in office, people think everything was great, and here comes Trump trying to change things. No, things weren't great. I would like there to be harder. It'd be harder to become a cop, but they get paid more, and they'd be held to a higher standard. That's what I'd like. What if we pay cops twice as much, but we got rid of all the deadbeats and all the losers and all the cops like this one who have no situational awareness? Just my idea. That's what I was on. And can you believe I got roasted when I had that idea? There were people that were so stringent, so far left. They were like, Tim, you want to keep the cops? No, we got to burn it all down. Like in what world? See, they live in areas where they don't have grandparents and mothers who live alone, who would have to call cops. Because it's a bunch of children who don't live under the situation they're grown-ups to. So they have these crazy ideas, and lo and behold, you better not disagree with them. Oh, God. Then you become all types of negative names. This story, Brandon Durham, may have been a little bit different if we'd had better cops who were trained more, paid more, and got rid of the garbage.